you for listening. As always, be the change you wish to see in the world. Today I'm going to be talking about China's coronavirus, which is spreading, and I'm updating this because I've been talking about it as it is emerging and new information comes available. Coronavirus can be spread by people who don't show symptoms. This is true. The Chinese are really going through a great deal of suffering right now. They can't keep up, and I wanted to update you. So down here at the bottom, I actually changed the color of the font with my update because I wanted you to. I wanted to just quickly show you my talking points, and then I'm going to just drop it in the box below. So my news sources, oh here it is. Here's my news section. Okay, it's really, I've got to keep it quick. I was actually going to work on a different video and I had to do this. So today's February 15th and I updated this on paper before I came and aired live. So basically the key point is China has a backlog of tests at their labs and they can't keep up with the count. They have masses of people that are being tested. However, there are masses of people that are dying, and not all the people that are dying were tested. Only the people that died that were tested are the people that they're counting as died of coronavirus. But all the morgues are backlogged. They are now, in an abundance of caution, burning everybody and cremating them, and they're asking people not to have regular funerals. They're asking many people to just skip the funeral. They're trying to control the disease. Now, the other point I had was the United States of America is also taking measures to keep the spread of the disease over here. Now, I wanted to give you some information that I think is relevant because I heard a lot of misinformation out there by people stating that, when it warms up around April, usually the flu ends, therefore this is translatable or generalizable to the flu. I disagree. The World Health Organization has an information page on SARS, if I can get over to it. Alright, wait. Here. Alright. I'm going to need to change this and move this over. Okay. Alright. Let's do this. They say, now here it is, 15 minutes of high heat at 132 degrees Fahrenheit, otherwise known as 56 Celsius, for 15 full minutes of this high heat will kill the coronavirus. That means when the pavement is hot enough to cook on, outside, the SARS virus can't survive. But you bet your sweet bippy, if your home is air conditioned, it can survive on surfaces if you catch it. But having it not survive outside will reduce the spread because it will kill it outdoors. And then if insects or rodents crawl across it, they won't be spreading it. So it will reduce the amount of the virus. Here is where I got it from. Now again, I think that the SARS virus, which is a coronavirus, is a lot closer than a flu virus. So I would not say, when the summer comes, you're not going to get it. I know people over in the Middle East got a lot of this. It was very hot and desertous there. And so I respectfully disagree with people who are saying, in the summer it'll be gone. So anyway, in an abundance of caution, the United States military has some things going on. They're going to be using a manual, and they're going to be taking their soldiers that have been in China, and they're going to prepare for a pandemic. And of course we've got, I can't believe they have ads on a military thing. Okay, so I'll put the link below and we'll briefly look at this. U.S. Northern Command is executing plans to prepare for a potential pandemic of the novel coronavirus, now called COVID-19, according to the Navy and Marine Corps service-wide messages issued this week. An executive order is issued by Joint Staff approved by Defense Secretary Mark Esper this month, directed Northern Command and geographic combatant commanders to initiate pandemic plans, which include ordering commanders to prepare for widespread outbreaks and confining service members with a history of travel to China. So the messages were issued on Tuesday and Wednesday, respectively, reference an executive order directing U.S. Northern Command to implement the Department of Defense Global Campaign Plan for Pandemic and Infectious Diseases Influenza. This document serves as the Pentagon's blueprint for planning and preparing the widespread dispersion of influenza and previously known diseases. U.S. Northern Command said Wednesday it was directed by Joint Staff February 1st to commence prudent planning in their assigned roles, synchronizing the department's plans for pandemic flu and disease, but in no way does the planning indicate a greater likelihood of an event developing. As military professionals, planning for a range of contingencies is something we owe the American people. We coordinate with the combatant commands to assess potential impacts in the event of a pandemic, and we ensure the U.S. military is poised to respond as required. The military profession fosters a culture of planning, and the fact that we are coordinated planning efforts across the geographical combatant commands is consistent with how we prepare to respond if directed. Okay, so let's take a quick peek at this. Alright, so DOD 355113 calls for preparing for a pandemic. Okay? And government assets. What is this? Okay, so there's other outlets that are reporting on this, and the Department of Defense has this. This looks like a plan. Oh, I don't want to save it to my desktop. I don't have enough memory. So there's some files out here. Some of them might be older plans. I don't know if the plans have been updated, but there's a lot of different ones. This is the National Institutes of Health plan. So there's more than one department that works on this, because basically the military is concerned with having the military readiness. The National Institutes of Health and the Department of Health and Human Services, and then the CDC, they all have different roles. And then they spread this stuff over to the local areas, because the local areas, like they'll have a local Department of Health, they'll have local social services, so they have the federal government and then the states, because there's different locales. But anyway, so this is their plan over here for civil support, okay? So they have a PDF, it's 55 pages. This particular one was created February 2017, so it's been updated. It talks about the different pandemics and what they will do in these departments. So the United States has coordinated with other agencies to protect the American people from a pandemic and other threats to the United States of America's citizens. The Centers for Disease Control also has some things on coronavirus, if you want to go look there, in the United States. And different countries have different information. If all the countries coordinated a little better, they might be able to really fully combat this disease and make people safer. So that is it. The 3 key points. Oh, the other point was I wanted to update the, I'm just going to scroll through here really fast. I hope it doesn't bother your eyes too much. But I've already accrued 30 pages worth of information to do with this virus, China, and there are other references here. I'm probably just going to put in the newer stuff that's more relevant, because I don't want to, there's a word count on these pages as well. So let's go to look at the map real quick, and then I'm going to have to sign off. Okay. So right now, with the backlog of ways of counting people with a delay in the time, that the this is a delay in the time. You know, some of these tests take more than 4 days to find out, but the labs are backed up. And they just don't have the resources. They're having a pandemic in their country. They're in a state of emergency over there. They're trying to contain it. They're doing everything they can. The government could use help. I don't know if they're going to want to take help, but these numbers are just horrible. Just horrible, these poor people. And it could be spreading to us. It could be coming to a neighborhood near you if we're not careful. Even with the most diligent, careful information, it's going to spread. I don't know what's going on in Africa and South America. I don't think they have as advanced, you know, the developing nations do not have advanced methods in place, advanced governments. They're not as unified. So this pandemic could spread to some place like Venezuela, and they don't have. They're in an economic state of emergency right now. Colombia, you know, Mexico. You're not seeing any cases here. Why? Cuba. Well, it could very well be that they don't even have the medical facilities or information. Let's see. Are they even testing people? Cuban medication interferon selected. Well, anyway, guys, I got to get running, and I want to thank you so much for watching. If you're new to my channel, please consider subscribing. I appreciate each and every one of you. As always, be the change you wish to see in the world, and thank you so much. Love you lots. Bye.